my channel. So obviously dating is something that everybody does, and it's really tough to be on a diet and go out to eat unless you know the right things to do. So I have come up with a couple of tips and tricks over the years that I really stick by, especially when I'm on a diet, when I go out on a date with my boyfriend. So if you want to see how I stay skinny while still going out on a date night, then just keep watching. Okay guys, let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to be mentioning is to go to the gym earlier that day of your date. By going to the gym that day, you will be working out your body to the point where you're going to need the nutrients and the calories that you're going to be getting at dinner anyways. So my advice to you would be hit the gym that day and then go home, get ready, and go straight to your date without eating. That way you absorb the nutrients and get the protein, carbs, and fats that your body needs. And I would recommend doing like legs that day or a bigger muscle, maybe a lot of cardio, something that will really burn calories and make your body depleted of those nutrients so that you get them at dinner and you don't feel bad, and then you will not be bloated the next day. My next piece of advice would be to wear tight clothing. I know that if I'm wearing tight jeans or a tight dress, I want to look skinny and pretty for my boyfriend, so I will purposely not overeat, because who wants to look fat in their clothes? Definitely not me. So that's just something that I kind of keep subconsciously, and the tightness of your clothes will make you feel even more full, so you won't really want to continue eating, and it's actually like a way of portion control that will help you if you are somebody who doesn't really know when to stop eating, like myself. My next piece of advice would be to skip the bread and chips that are offered to you at dinner. In most places, they will try to bring bread or chips to the table. I'll usually let the waiter know that we won't be eating the bread or chips, or if they ask, I'll tell them no, or even if I see them coming to the table, as much as I am super tempted to eat it, I will tell them no thank you. That way, if they don't put it on the table, I'm not tempted to eat it, and we're all good from there. So a huge thing about being on a diet is people always ask me, should I avoid alcohol? And that's your own personal preference, because obviously alcohol is empty calories. It's not going to be good for your diet, but I'm somebody who really enjoys drinking, and it's just something that I like to do. And I've noticed that the alcohol choices that I have been making, I don't see that I ever really gain weight from them, because I keep my mixers with no calories, or I like to keep the type of alcohol I'm drinking the healthiest as possible, because I do live on a diet most of the time. So first thing you can order is red wine. Red wine is very high in resveratrol. Resveratrol is a phenol that is known to increase your blood flow and aid in digestion. I always choose red wine over white, and whenever I go out to eat, especially at dinner, I will have red wine with my meal, and I never seem to be bloated or anything after. Kind of alcohol that you can drink if you're not a wine fan is you could just get a vodka soda with a little twist of lime or lemon, and there aren't any calories obviously in the club soda, just in the vodka, so it's basically like you're just drinking straight vodka. Another thing that you can get is you can ask the bartender to make you a skinny margarita, and the way that you would make that is just a little bit of tequila, a squeeze of half of a lime, a little bit of club soda, and you're good to go. Another tip that I have for you guys is to order lots and lots of water. Just keep drinking that water, because the water is going to fill you up and take up space in your stomach that the food would otherwise take up. So if you drink a lot of water, you're probably going to eat less and in turn stay good on your diet. My next piece of advice for you guys is to order a healthy appetizer. Normally when you are on a date, or at least me, my boyfriend will always want to order an appetizer, and I have a hard time saying no, so I'm always like, okay, let's just get an appetizer, but let's get something healthy. A lot of the time appetizers are mostly fried or have a lot of fat or carbs in them, so I will try to opt for a healthier option, maybe like some tuna tartare or guacamole with vegetables or something like that. So if you are going to order an appetizer, then just try to keep it more on the healthy side. Talk to your boyfriend or husband or whatever and be like, babe, I'm on a diet, I'm trying to be good, you can have a nice big meal, just let's get a healthy appetizer. More likely than not, since they love you so much, they will say okay. My next piece of advice for you guys is anything you order to get the sauce on the side. I have worked in restaurants for years and years, and I notice that whenever there is sauce on either an entree or an appetizer or anything, it is so much sauce that they put on there. They drench it. Sauce has a lot of calories, a lot. You would think that maybe a nice balsamic vinaigrette dressing or something like that wouldn't have that many calories, but in reality it does. The amount of oil and sugar in it, especially at restaurants, they do everything to taste. They don't do everything to health benefits because they don't care. They just want you to like the food. So anything they make, they're gonna sweeten it or make it fatter. Anything for you to come back because you like the food there. So my piece of advice would be, if you're going to order anything with sauce on it or a salad, get the sauce or dressing on the side. Another way to make sure that you don't go crazy on your date is to have your date let you pick the spot. You know what your diet entails and what you can and can't have. So you don't want to go on the date and then pull up to like an Italian restaurant with pizza and pasta or a burger spot. Or if they are very persistent about their own spot that they want to show you, then just check out the menu beforehand, and you could even call and see if the place has healthy options, just so you know that you're not going to ruin all your hard work. Also, I know that a lot of places offer a low-calorie menu. One of my favorites is Cheesecake Factory has a skinny menu, which I think everything is under 600 calories, which is pretty awesome for a full-size meal at a restaurant. So if you do want to stay on a low-calorie diet, then I would suggest looking up places that have a fit or skinny menu. That way you know anything you order on that menu is going to be within your calorie deficit. As far as entrees go, I always think of being out to eat as an opportunity kind of to order things that I wouldn't normally make at home. This could be anything from like a different kind of fish that you've never heard of, because most white fish is pretty lean as it is, or you can even get like a steak, which I'm not the type to really cook steak at home much because I try to not really keep it in my diet. But if you go to like a nice restaurant and you want to get a filet, which is really not that fatty, then go ahead, because it will be something different from your normal diet, and once in a while you kind of want to give your body those other foods that it doesn't recognize, so you could really get all the other nutrients that you might be lacking from your daily diet, because a lot of people tend to stick to the same foods, and sometimes we're not really getting everything that we need in our diet. So it is okay. Eat something that you wouldn't normally eat, as long as it is not super fattening or super unhealthy. I know that a lot of people don't like spicy, but hot sauce is like my best friend in the whole wide world. I love it so much. I'm not talking about like buffalo sauce, because buffalo sauce's main ingredient is butter, for those of you who didn't know, because I didn't know that for years and was putting it on everything I ate. But anyways, hot sauce, like I'm talking about Tabasco, Cholula, even like a homemade salsa, they're so low in calories and they add flavor to the food. So if I were you and you're out, you want to order a chicken with like a white wine sauce, that white wine sauce probably is half white wine and half butter. So I would get the sauce on the side, and always just get a side of hot sauce. It's delicious, makes everything taste good, and your food won't be as bland. Another thing that I want to mention is just something that I see every single day. A lot of menus will have, oh, this is gluten-free, this is organic, this is low carbs. I am telling you right now, that does not make it healthy. That does not make it low in calories. That does not make it low in fat or carbs. It's just something that they do to trick you into thinking it's healthy. Just because something's gluten-free does not mean anything, unless you have a gluten intolerance or you're allergic to gluten or whatever. Gluten-free does not mean healthy. I'm telling you that right now. They will try to convince you that something's healthy. Oh, it's organic. Organic does not make it lower in calories or lower in carbs or lower in fat. Do not be fooled by these menus that say gluten-free, organic, low carb. That does not make it lower in calories. Another thing that I'm going to mention, which is I think my most effective thing, for me at least, is something that totally helps me to stop eating when I'm done is I always reapply my lipstick. When I want to be finished, I say, okay, I'm gonna have this piece and I'm putting my lipstick on. So I'll finish that piece, put my lipstick on, and I know that at restaurants they'll like leave the food in front of you. The waiter will be busy, they can't come around and take the food away out of your face, so you'll always keep picking on it. So I find that if I put my lipstick on, I don't want to mess up my lips again, so I'll just push the plate away, put my lipstick on, and I won't touch the food again. Okay guys, well that's it for my tips and tricks of how to keep it skinny on your date night. I hope these tricks work for you as well as they do for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am so excited to have finally made a new video for you guys, and make sure you like below and leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, I think I'm done, Mello. What do you think? I wish I was going on a date, but fortunately I just didn't.